G'day, Aussie Gridiron fans. Hey, Brad. Hey, Nick. How are we doing this evening? We're in week 3 already. This season goes far too quickly, Brad, for something we wait so long for.
Yeah, it does. It really, really does. I love the fact that we've got football on, 4 nights out of the week, it seems like. It's just, and you throw in little college games and it's fantastic. So I'm feeling good and about ready to go into holidays. So even better. Now I can just watch every game, every snap of every game in its entirety. Forget the 40-minute stuff. I'm going to condense version. I'm going to watch the whole broadcast, all 3.5 hours of every game.
2 weeks. The next 2 weeks, Brad is waking up at 3 a.m. on Monday mornings to watch, just consume so much football, Brad. Is that what you were saying?
Absolutely. Well, I don't know about 3 a.m. because I've got the package, so I can start it from the beginning.
So it's time for some news. Let's run through a few news items that come out of week 2, I guess, things that happened in between week 2 and 3. The first thing up on the block and some of the biggest story that has happened so far in this week, coming out of week 2, is QB injuries. We had Mac Jones subbing in for Brock Purdy last week, and we all saw in the Bengals game that Joe Burrow went down with what we now know is a pretty lengthy IR injury, his turf toe, essentially, and he's out for around 12 weeks. So Jake Browning came in the middle of that game. But coming out of the week, we've got injuries to J.J. McCarthy, possibly Jaden Daniels. He's definitely injured. He's more of like a Friday, Saturday decision at this point, Dan Quinn has said. And Justin Fields has entered concussion protocol, so he is out. So we could be up to 5 backup quarterbacks suiting up for their respective teams in week 3. So I guess, I don't know, do we talk about a little bit about each one of them, Brad?
Yeah, sure. Just real quick. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Carson Wentz could be in for J.J. McCarthy at the Vikings. Carson Wentz could be back. The Ginger Ninja, standing tall at, 7'8". He's a man mountain, that guy is. He's huge. So he's going to be starting 100% going to be starting for JJ McCarthy. They've already announced that. Strange to me, Brad, that they announced that early.
Yeah. I was wondering that exact same thing. What's the advantage of doing it early? To me, you would hold on to that thing as long as possible. I don't get why they did that early either. It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't to me either. Because Nick would be able to tell us a little bit more. You'd have to game plan for a certain quarterback and then throw in a backup at the last minute. It makes more sense when you
throws off your game plan, really.
Yeah.
So it's a bit strange as to why they did it this early, but maybe something must have gone, terribly wrong where they just thought there's no point in even trying to hide this. But yeah, not quite sure.
Isaac did wonder earlier in the week whether that might be because they might have thought that the JJ hadn't played really well. So just try and get him out there and reset early. But I still think you would force your opposition to game plan for McCarthy and then throw Wentz in. Say on Saturday that it's going to be Wentz. Force them to have to come in after they've already done walkthroughs on a Friday and figure it out. Yeah.
So he's a long way off from being the number 2 pick. That's for sure.
Yep, sure is. Mac Jones could still be starting for 49ers again, Nick?
I think it should be the case. There's rumours that Rock's trying to come back early. I think probably better to keep him out for another week because it might be, instead of a 2-week injury, turns into a 2-month injury like Joe Burrow has, because it's almost the same thing. So
yep. He played well last week too. I know it was only in the Saints, but he still threw for 279 and 3 touchdowns and some very, very pretty balls that he was spiraling out of that hand too.
He held his own, and there was some big, it wasn't just pretty much layups and everything. He made some big 3rd down conversions, really controlled the game. So it's quite good. So I like, even it is against the Cardinals. Cardinals are a better team than New Orleans, but I'd probably roll out with him one more week. I think he's at least deserved it, but more so, I think more than anything, give Brock another week off just in case.
Yep. Jake Browning is going to be starting for the Bengals now with Joe Burrow out with that turf toe. They have also elevated Brett Ripien to the 53-man squad and signed Mike White, and there was somebody else. I can't remember who else that was. But yeah, they signed Mike White to practice squad as well. And there was another, I can't remember the other QB right now, but it was somebody else. So Jake Browning for the Bengals, Brad, and he'll be going up against Carson Wentz, funnily enough.
Yeah, yeah. When you imagine the fans, you bought tickets to this a long time ago. You're thinking this is going to be this amazing game with these dueling quarterbacks, and then now you're getting, the backups basically. It still should be a good game. And the thing about Browning, he's able to win games. He went 4-3 as a starter back in 23. He's completed over 70% of his passes. He's got a great supporting cast. So, of all the backups, one is the most intriguing for me to watch. I just want to see how he performs. But I think he'll do pretty good.
Yeah. So Sean Clifford was the other name that I was trying to find. So they have Jake Browning, Brett Ripien, signed Mike White and Sean Clifford to the practice squad. I'd love to see some
Maybe
Mike
they need
White.
the extra quarterback as to high risk considering how bad the offensive line has been.
Oh, I know. You've now got a four-way mid-level quarterback duel, basically, in Cincinnati.
I would love to see Kirk Cousins go to the Bengals just for this season.
Nah, that's not going to work. If Joe Burrow can't survive that offensive line, Kirk Cousins isn't going to.
That's true. Yeah, good point.
Not at all.
It's just not going to work. I mean, in terms of like the weapons, he might be able to get a few good games, but man, I saw week one Joe Burrow take a hit from Myles Garrett, and I don't know how we got up from that. Like that's cool. Like we're looking at it. This is the updated version of what happened to Andrew Luck so many years ago. Honestly, this is what it is.
Yeah, I think unfortunately, I could see the same trajectory. Which is horrible. Yeah.
Justin Fields out with a concussion, as I said. Tyrod Taylor in for the Jets for this week with Justin Fields out. Could be very interesting when they're coming up against the Bucs in Tampa Bay this week.
Yeah, I think it's Fields played great in the first game. Obviously, he got hurt. What was the second quarter of this game? But he wasn't looking good beforehand. So we still don't know what we have with Fields. Tyrod Taylor, he's proven backup, so he's pretty well respected. He's had a lot of problems with injuries himself, so he's going to throw it downfield, so I think it could make for some really exciting plays for the Jets.
They didn't make him throw too much when he came in for Fields afterwards. I think they shifted that game plan quite a lot to run. There was quite heavy Breece Hall usage there. Not that he got a lot of yards. And Tyrod Taylor himself ended up with 21 yards rushing as well. So he only really had 11 attempts passing, but he did throw a touchdown in the game. But they did, of course, lose 30-10 to the Bills, who demolished them in the first 15 minutes of that game. So the last one is Marcus Mariota, possibly in the Commanders. As I said, Jaden Daniels is supposed to be a sort of decision somewhere around Friday, Saturday, Dan Quinn said. They're going to try and get him through Friday practice and see what happens. But if not, could be Marcus Mariota for the Commanders.
I don't like the idea of bringing Daniels back early. I really don't. We've all seen the stats on this guy's the most hit quarterback this season, and he was last season as well. And a lot of that's because of the runs, but you've got so much to lose by bringing this guy back early. So, I mean, everybody remembers what happened to RG3. And you do not want a repeat of that same situation. So you got Mariota. This is why you hired him in the offseason. He knows Kingsbury's offense already. So just let him do it, and get Daniels healthy. It's a long season. Don't rush this back. Because what do we got? They've got the Raiders and then the Falcons and the Chargers. So, and the way the Falcons defense has been playing, it's not a gimme. So just roll with it and see what happens. I don't think it'd be smart to bring him back.
No, totally agree. So they're the QB injuries for this week, and the big names, the backups all in. So we could end up with 5 in week 3 of an NFL season, which is wild. A couple of years ago, we had a season where we had a lot of QB injuries. There was something like 90 different QBs that played, or some dumb number. That was 2022 or 2023, I think it was. We had a crazy amount of QB injuries, so we're certainly starting off the same way, unfortunately. There's a heap of injuries, though, after the QBs, so everybody else around the league that comes out of week 2. I'll run through a few. You guys can give me some thoughts on a few of them. Aaron Jones out for the Vikings. He's on IR now with a hamstring injury. Jaden Reed is out for the Packers with a broken collarbone. Austin Eckler out for the Commanders now, torn Achilles, so he's gone for the year.
Yeah, at least.
All those are significant. I think the Jones one is more impactful on the team than the other two.
Yeah, certainly. Jones one who got Jordan Mason was the backup there anyway. He should handle most of the work. But they're pretty thin at running back right now, the Vikings. Jaden Reed, the Packers they already had Christian Watson out with he's still recovering from a torn ACL. But they've still got, I think, 4 or 5 other wide receivers on the books. So it is wide receiver by committee around there. Yeah. Austin Eckler was a bummer, I think.
That was bad.
Especially they traded away Brian Robinson Jr.
And
I guess expected Eckler to be around a little bit to be sort of the grown-up in the running back room because they've got Krosky Merritt, who's the rookie, who's going to be very good. But,
he already is. Yeah. It's a shame that Eckler, because he was dynamic at San Diego Chargers. But he just hasn't lost. He's a perfect example of a back getting older and just losing the juice.
Yeah, hopefully he comes back. But when that Achilles popped, when I was watching that live, that unfortunately gave me a flashback to how Dre Greenlaw did his when he was coming onto the field in that Super Bowl. So it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
So it could be altering.
A torn Achilles for a running back at that age is not a great thing.
No.
Jalen Johnson, quarterback for the Bears, is out with a groin injury. He's on IR. AJ Terrell for the Falcons with a hamstring injury. Tony Adams for the... I'll start with that. Just those two. Either of those two flash at you? Because I've got a trio of Jets after this.
I think the Terrell one, it could be significant just because their defense is playing really well. So it's going to be interesting to see how they adapt and adjust. That defensive line has been creating a lot of pressure unexpectedly, which has worked well for their secondary. So it'll be interesting that it puts even more pressure on that D line to perform and get after the quarterback.
So the Jets, aside from losing Justin Fields, have also ended up losing cornerback Tony Adams with a groin injury, Michael Carter with a shoulder injury, and they also lost edge rusher Jermaine Johnson to an ankle injury in the one game.
Welcome to football, man.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Decimated the Jets were last week. Panthers lose a pair of O-linemen unfortunately. Robert Hunt, their guard, tore his bicep. Austin Corbett, their center, is out with an MCL injury. So that's not great for the Carolina Panthers or Bryce Young specifically.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think not great is the understatement of the of the day, but yes, absolutely. It's that they are desperately trying to shore up that interior offensive line, and to lose these two guys, it's rough. But with that said, both those guys missed week 18 last year. And that's when Young went off. So it's not to say it can't happen again.
Yeah. I've been trying to find a little bit of info about the Robert Hunt one to confirm some stuff because a couple of web pages I've been taking some info from actually pluralized it. So tearing his biceps. And I tried to find out
What?
whether he did both.
No.
Wow.
I mean, you are an O lineman, so there is the I guess
Yeah.
Nick can confirm it better than I fucking can, but you get hands up into people, you push, you could theoretically
odds
tear
of
both biceps.
doing both.
The odds of doing both, though, that's insane.
Yeah.
That is
Is
insane.
Carson Wentz
And so
sprained
unlucky.
ankles at once, Brad.
It's fair point. Fair point. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
JJ Watt actually said on the McAfee show today that he played with a guy who tore both quads in the one play.
Wow.
Jeez.
Do the splits or something.
Can you? I assume it would have been a lineman, like a defensive lineman.
No,
Could you
thank
imagine
you.
both quads?
No.
So the odds are pretty low, but
Yeah. But
Khalil Mack is out for the Chargers with a dislocated elbow. That's possibly another one of the worst things I can think of.
Did
Dislocating
you see
an elbow.
when he got injured, when he did his
Yeah.
elbow? That was bad. I thought it was going to be much worse. When I saw dislocate, I was like, you know what? That's actually a lot better than what it looked like when it was replayed.
yeah.
But
you,
still,
you could tell he was in so much pain. That I felt bad for him.
you tell me that you dislocated an elbow, man. I'm wincing. 'Cause that
Yeah,
doesn't-
absolutely. That's got to be
just-
one of the most painful things I would imagine.
Yeah. And then the Bucks now are without Kalai Cansey for the rest of the season. Torn pectoral muscle, which is going to require surgery, apparently. Tearing pecs.
Yeah, that one hurts because your defense needed him, and big time, and so that really hurts the team. I think of all the injuries, I think that could be the most impactful to a team as much as Khalil Mack actually.
They're already without Tristan Wirfs, who
Yeah.
has yet to play with a knee injury. Luke Godke is their right tackle, is dealing with a foot injury. And now their try again, Ian. Their guard Cody Mock is out for the year. With a knee injury that requires surgery. So the Bucks lines, both of the Bucks lines, are getting decimated. Real shame for that team. Real shame. But it does make the future games quite interesting. So then the injuries out of there. So there's a lot of guys that aren't going to be playing. There's a couple more questionables for this week as well. Jalen Waddle, questionable for the Dolphins. Lad McConkey for the Chargers. Both of these popped up today, actually, as we're recording on Thursday evening. That could be quite a big impact for both, especially Lad McConkey for the Chargers.
It will have a huge impact on them. That could schematically really change what they're gonna do. So, yeah, I'll be very intrigued to see how that one plays out.
The other big bit of news this week, Brad, I'm super keen to hear some thoughts from Brad on this one. Tom Brady is the lead color analyst for Fox. For Fox?
Yep.
Yes, for Fox. He is also a minority owner of the Raiders. And at the Raiders-Chargers game just gone this week, he was spotted in none other than the coaching box for the Raiders. Brad, can you be an owner and an analyst and sit in a coach's box all at once?
Yeah. I think you can. I mean, is it ideal? No. But I think you can do it. And Fox has, put guardrails up, and have they relaxed those guardrails? Yeah. But this is new. I mean, you can see, those of us that are watching this online, you can see a picture of them there in the coach's box. And if you saw it on TV, they obviously talked about it. I think it's just more the media making it a big deal, bigger than what it is, though. It's I say, if I was him, yeah, go for it, do it. If anything that help you can give to your team that you partially own, I'm all for it. So I think, when he goes to interview other teams for games that he's broadcasting, they'll be probably a little bit more guarded with what they say, but so what? It's just, I don't see it as a big deal. I'd rather, say innocent until proven guilty type of thing.
It's a bit
The
like
interesting part. Yeah, go, Nick.
No, I was going to say, well, did you actually see? I'm trying to think of the name. The new sort of co-owner for the Colts. She had she was actually on the sideline with like the notepad out, taking notes of
Yes.
everything, being involved.
Irsay's daughter. Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah. So she was involved in all that as well. So maybe there's just, I mean, there are some owners that have a lot more involvement. Jerry Jones more than others.
Shut your hole.
I don't
Get
know.
that
Maybe it's
man's
just going to be more of
name
a
out of your
thing.
mouth.
And I mean, for Tom Brady, because he was involved with part of the decision for the quarterbacks as well. So
Yeah, I don't know, Brad. Nick, it's Carly Ursay is different though. She's just an owner, and the last couple of years, 2 or 3 years, she's spent on the sideline listening into how things happen.
Yeah.
Because she's been trying to learn how to run a team, because she knew she would have to run that team eventually, and she was going to be the one running it. So her being on the sideline isn't as big a deal to me, because she's not also she's not an analyst, and she's not in the opposition teams sort of their bunkers, and especially a lot of these media types, especially the analysts and stuff, the ones that call the game, they get to go to Friday walkthroughs with both teams. And they get to view these things. The Friday practices, they get to interview the coaches, they get to find out stuff. Yeah, all this stuff came out this week after it came out that Tom Brady talks to Chip Kelly a couple of times a week about coaching. They have a phone call a couple of times a week. Came out that it was 3 times, and then today, I think it was, we get a media report that said, no, he doesn't talk to Chip Kelly 3 times a week. So instantly, right, so it's 2.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not 3. So
yeah.
The interesting part, though, Brad, is that he has scheduled Tom Brady to call the Dallas-Chicago game this week.
Get him off the field. No, he shouldn't be broadcasting. Get him. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, week 4, Brad, his Raiders play the Bears.
Okay, interesting.
You see where people are going with the conspiracy theories now.
Yeah,
he would get to get all this knowledge about what the Bears are doing, and then the following week the Raiders are playing the Bears.
Yeah. No, I get it, but that's that's where I say it's a little bit. It's up to the coaches in those production meetings to be more guarded or whatever. They're not going to give Tom that much more. They'll give him the more of the human interest stories, I think, and that kind of stuff. But when it comes to the X's and O's, they won't give him anything. And if Tom just will, study film like everybody else.
Very true. All right, that's the news coming into week 3.